What's up, guys? Welcome back to the infamous project. It's going to be a special episode today. Well, as I'm back down in Texas, you can see got the TIPS Coupe here, wild strawberry car sitting over there. Weather has been beautiful. As you can see, I'm in a t-shirt, I'm drinking a beer, and just finished a pretty long day helping out Dale, who you would see in my Canadian-based videos, pick up some parts from some wrench parts and U-pulls and all that other good stuff. So we're here, we're in the shop, still full, same old stuff that you guys saw before because, well, I left and hadn't been back in about 5 months now. So what are we going to talk about today? Another non-project based video. Unfortunately, I haven't had any time to do any wrenching. Now the good news is that there's a lot of work to be done and a lot that's going to happen. You guys haven't seen this car in any of my videos because, well, I just finally saw it for the first time here as well. Little twin turbo Coyote swapped notchback for your liking. This is about all I'm going to show you of this car right now because this isn't the topic that I'm going to cover today. You guys can just kind of take it as a teaser. So what are we going to talk about? We are actually going to talk about that box that's sitting on the top of the rack right there, and I actually have another box, and it's sitting in the back of the Lightning right here. So what is in this box? These are fresh LMR Daniel Carpenter Coupe rear quarter windows, and a lot of guys have been talking about these online and wondering, you know, what's the quality like? And everybody has a varying opinion on what is good quality these days. So I am going to open up the box, maybe the box is actually, and give you guys my personal opinion of what they look like, how bad are the blems, and just kind of what the overall finish and quality looks like. So let me get these boxes set up, and we'll open one or both up, and then we'll go through and show you guys what these quarter windows actually look like. Again, this is fresh from LMR. They arrived yesterday, and we're gonna see what they look like. Definitely can't complain about the packaging. Here's some hardware. And the hardware looks pretty good. So I gotta say, my one pet peeve with some of the Daniel Carpenter products, most especially the taillight, the actual hardware is smaller than the OEM stuff. And the OEM hardware, the nuts are larger in diameter, which gives more coverage and less chances of stuff getting behind your taillight and in your housing and into your car. So there we go with that. We actually get a roll of 3M ribbon window sealer, butyl tape, or something similar. And there's definitely more than enough to go around your windows. All right, window number one. Put this down in easier spot. Here we are. Windows are out of the box and here for the inspection. This is my first time getting my hands on a set of these. So the first thing that I noticed is the finish of the actual molding is definitely more rubbery than what you might see from factory. Something else that I notice is just the way that rubber is cut. You can see right here, see how there's like a little bit of extra material? It's almost like you want to take a razor blade and trim that out. Same thing down here in this corner. Over here is okay, reasonably. Now, one thing that I notice, there's almost an Audi dent in the rubber right here. Just a little bit, enough to catch the eye. Now remember guys, these are sold as blems, right? So I don't know what the non-blem version would look like. Backside, there's excess material there. Again, just trimming, probably coming out of whatever injection molds that they're using. But I have seen on a couple people's posts, there's been more blem in this area, and you can see there's a little bit of discoloration right here, and just the way that it's trimmed, you can see it's a little wavy here. Again, the trimming not 100%. Moving over to this guy, I'd say this one looks better in terms of the trimming on the inside. Not too much to worry about there. We'll flip this over. A little bit of trimming required here. Maybe a little bit up here. Everything else looks good. It's tempered glass. Got the Mustang logo in there. Unlike, I believe it's American Muscle that redoes these for hatchbacks. I think that is gone or non-existent. This little channel or groove is consistent with the factory / OEM look, so that is good. So there is the first set of windows. I don't know if I'm going to even bother going into the second set and unboxing them, because I think this is a pretty good representation of what you guys are going to get if you order these. And what is that? That's going to be really nice quarter glass replacements, full hardware, so you can actually bolt them in and seal them up properly, because I've actually seen these leak from factory. You're right over there? Oh, I'm a little warm. Well, that's good. Look at that nice motor. I should get a picture of that. New hoist in action.
The new 5.4.
Cool, little intermission there. You can see new Lightning motor sitting here. Like I said, fresh rebuild, forged internals, and ready to get dropped into the truck. So for comparison's sake, let's go outside to my silver car real quick. And here we are. These are OEM, these are a little dirty, but the best way to describe the difference is that these, they seem more dense and more smooth from factory compared to what we have in there. And I want to say maybe not as thick above the glass. So if you remember on the inside lip, I was saying it wasn't necessarily cut too straight. Well, are you really going to notice it in here? And I want to say, so if you actually look here, you can see, and remember guys, this is a 20K mile car. So you're not going to find something that fits as original as this in terms of what I got here to be able to compare. And you know, there is a little bit more of an opening here, and if you really wanted to be, I guess, OCD about the aftermarket ones, it might be a little bit more wavy in this area, but otherwise everything should be good. So let's go back inside, wrap up this video and get it out for you. I'm actually filming this right now and gonna hopefully get it out for you guys tonight. So just been so busy and everything else. I do have other content, but I just figured that this was going to be a good video because so many people were on the bandwagon of potentially buying these. So looking at these right after looking at those on my silver car, and again, the GoPro could potentially be hiding a few things. Down along this edge is definitely pretty thick. Again, 9 out of 10 people would never notice the difference. These are a more satin black finish and they just seem more rubbery. That's the best way that I can explain the difference between these and what's from factory. 9.5 out of 10 people, so call it 95 out of 100, would love to have these instead of having windows that are pitted like this, all nasty. And many would take them over a set like this that someone has attempted to fix with non-flexible material and cracked. 5 out of those 100 people that are going for a high dollar, high value OEM build, maybe not. I would keep doing my search for a really good set of these if you can find them. So here's one important thing to keep in mind. These are being sold as blems. And regardless of the fact that they have the few little blemishes on them, you know, areas that you might need to hit with a razor blade, or maybe a little bit of discoloration, or that little bump that I was telling you about, having a non-blem version of these isn't going to help you if you're in that 5% of people that want 100% OE. They're still gonna look like this. They're still gonna have this feeling, this look, this feel. The only reason why these are blems are for the few reasons that I've mentioned in this video. So great replacement for the money right now and what the market is. Hands down, good value, because even when Fox Resto was restoring them, you were into the same money. Even when I restore them, you're pretty much into the same money. Now the difference is, I wouldn't use these if I was doing a mint car, like restoration back to OEM. I would find a set that are mint for sale, spend the extra money, and I think a lot of people would most likely echo that. So here's the other thing. Is somebody going to come out with another option that's maybe more affordable? Like, why are the hatchback glass being redone and available for sale for almost half the cost of the blemed versions of the coupes, and we're still not seeing coupe glass? So maybe there's coupe glass in the future, or in the near future, and the reason that's part of the reason why these are made available. I honestly don't know. So in conclusion, this right now, at this given time, in terms of being able to have a really nice aftermarket coupe quarter window replacement, these are worth every cent, in my opinion. Because what are you going to do otherwise? You might be wondering, well, why'd you buy 2 sets of these? Well, number one, I could make the video. Number two, I actually need them for this coupe. And number three, I'm actually gonna put them on the white Cali coupe. So to kind of put things in perspective for you guys, this is a really nice car, super clean, no rust, Cali. You guys saw the feature video on this, and if you haven't, make sure you can go check it out. But the car's been repainted, it's got some modifications, it's not a low mile original car, and well, it needs the windows replaced. And these guys are worn down pretty far, more so than I would be comfortable with trying to restore these guys. So the other one thing that I'll tell you guys, in terms of me making sure that everything is perfect in the way that I want, you can see even the top here, this top ledge up here is not 100% straight. I think I'm gonna have to do, might sand, I don't know if I could sand. I just don't want to cut and then cut too far into the material. I'll come up with a plan, and maybe that'll be another video for you guys that buy these windows on how to make them more perfect than what they are. Because what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to mask off the glass. You know, I'm going to do my trimming, get everything as close to perfect as I can. I am going to be scuffing down this rubber, and I will be priming and top coating them with the same process that I use when I restore OE windows. And the reason for that is I want the finish of the surrounds of the window to match the finish of the rest of the car. If you are buying these, chances are your trim is faded and needs to be painted and looking better. And if that's the case, you don't want the surrounds here to not match the rest of your trim that's going around your door, window frames, and everything else. So I will be changing this top coat because, well, they're actually pretty easy to mark. So if you see this, here's my nail. You can see I can actually make designs in here. And I can rub it off, but it's kind of still staying in there. So it's another thing to keep in mind. I want to make sure that there's a good protective top coat on this to make sure that it can last as long as it possibly can. One last thing that I need to throw in there, just I was getting the glass up and ready against the notch here, trying to do a little thumbnail picture. And one other thing that I want to tell you guys about these glass is that the edges overall are a little bit sharper. So what I'm trying to say here is that things are more clearly defined in terms of the edges along this contour here. And I think part of that is because it seems a little bit thicker than the factory. And the line that goes around here, that one as well, is more sharp and I guess more defined than what you would see in the factory one. So again, you can see this bump right here and some of that trimming, but these are blems. So we can't be too picky in this case. I just wanted to kind of throw that in there and tell you guys about that one. So there you guys go. I don't want to drag this video out any longer than it needs to be. I'm hoping that this kind of gave you guys that are on the fence about buying these a good idea of what you are going to get and to manage your expectations. Again, I'm not bashing these or saying anything bad about them at all because, like I said, this is suitable, or this is serving 95%, maybe even higher, maybe 98% of the fox body community. If you are a little bit more anal and a little bit more OCD, such as myself, like I said, a little bit more effort and time into these, and you will get them near perfect and matching all the other trim on your car. If you are doing that high dollar restoration build, I'd be searching for something else. And again, that does not apply to the majority of us out there looking for a good option to have perfect quarter windows in your coupe. So thank you guys again for your support. Thank you for following along. If you haven't seen my other videos, make sure you do. There's going to be a lot of videos to come. I'm really excited for this guy right here and a lot of other projects to come in the near future. So we'll see you guys next time.